If Fenway Sports Group are well into their final act as owners of Liverpool FC, the monument to their Anfield progress will be there for all to see by the summer of 2023. Whenever FSG do eventually decide to hand over the keys to the Shankly Gates, they'll walk away from Merseyside having dragged one of the most iconic sporting venues on the planet into the 21st century. Perhaps for all the success enjoyed under the managerial reign of Jurgen Klopp, the true stamp of the Americans era will be the infrastructure put in place during their tenure. Having finally made the decision to vacate the famous Melwood site, the move to the AXA Training Centre 2 years ago is one that will hold the next generation of Red Stars in good stead at Kirkby. The £50 million build is one that Liverpool believe now rivals any other in European football, and while the decision to leave Melwood was taken with the heaviest of hearts, those working within the ranks across all departments have felt the benefit. But while the AXA, as it's informally referred to, is the all-purpose facility needed for a modern top-level football club to improve, it's FSG's redevelopment of Anfield that's the more obvious emblem of their accomplishments to a worldwide fan base. The £110 million redevelopment of the main stand enabled Liverpool to take Anfield's overall capacity from 45,000 to 54,000. The renaming of Anfield itself has never been on the agenda for obvious reasons, but senior figures at the club did consider naming rights for the main stand before it was established that the revenue could be raised through individual hospitality boxes within the stand itself instead. Like the main stand, naming rights is something that is once again under consideration for the Anfield Road project. Liverpool have not disclosed how much they earn specifically from AXA's moniker, but an estimate suggests the insurance firm pays £30 million per year to have their logos on the Reds Nike branded training kits and the complex itself. That effectively means that the ground has already paid for itself, having passed its 2-year anniversary earlier this month. It's easy to see why naming rights appeal for clubs across the continent when they, through naming rights usage, effectively become additional infrastructure at no extra cost. But how much would the rights be worth for any would-be sponsor of the stand that currently houses the away support on match days? Amazon owner Jeff Bezos, who is currently stated as the 4th richest man on the planet, has paid a reported $400 million for the right to rename the key arena in Seattle as the Climate Pledge Arena. And naming rights for stadia is commonplace among American sports, particularly in the NFL, where teams regularly turn out at the likes of the Levi's Stadium, the FedEx Field, and the MetLife Stadium. It's the Premier League and the upper echelons of European football where the Reds will be able to compare and contrast any real potential revenue streams, however. Manchester City are reported to earn £15 million a year from Etihad Airways, while Bayern Munich fetched just under £7 million from insurance firm Allianz. Arsenal are said to earn £40 million a year from Fly Emirates to sponsor both the club's kits and the stadium itself. The financial year of 2016-17, after completion of the main stand, saw Liverpool's matchday revenue increase by £12 million, mainly due to the increase in hospitality sales and the extra capacity. While the redevelopment of the Anfield Road end won't have the same kind of impact on hospitality, it will provide opportunities to host more conferences and meetings. With the global attraction of Liverpool FC and Anfield itself as a venue, meetings and conferences can be lucrative down the line. At a time when Liverpool and Manchester United are both up for sale, the fact that FSG are preparing their exit strategy with the club's infrastructure and rude health compared to their rivals down the other end of the M62 speaks to the long-term approach that the Boston-based custodians have always looked towards. While United are being criticised in public by their most high-profile player in Cristiano Ronaldo with regard to the state of both Old Trafford and Carrington, there are no such concerns for the Reds. Whatever happens from here on in with FSG and their ownership, it's clear that the club's proud expansion of Anfield will be their bricks and mortar legacy for generations to come.